So hi everyone, welcome. Warning video for this week's volatility. Probably one of the best weeks we're going to have because we've got CPI on Tuesday and we've got the FOMC and Mr. Powell speaking on Wednesday. We've also got some ECB rate decisions on Thursday. You can see on the screen. Chaotic. Right before Christmas, right before the markets really start to slow down. Are we going to see a Santa rally? I think so, but that's my personal thought. So do not just go, oh, let's go long, because we don't know what data we're going to get. So let's talk about it. If you are new, by the way, I am going to be going live tomorrow on the CPI, decision kind of, not the decision, the data. Yeah, so subscribe button, hit it, so you can find me tomorrow. Right, let's talk about the obvious. Inflation rate. The consensus is a 7.3 is what they're expecting. That's a bit of a drop. We'll see. Let's just see. If it is near 7.7 and it hasn't moved much, it may well be interesting to see what we actually do in terms of the interest rate hike decision on Wednesday. So that's a big factor of volatility. The core is also expected to come down about 0.2 down to 6.1. We'll see again. This is probably, in my opinion, the most obvious and the best reading of it. So we'll see how that actually does fare up. Interest rate hikes. We're expected to get a 0.5, so 50 base points. However, that is not set in stone. If the inflation data is bad, it may be 75 still, and that may catch people out. So we'll see how things genuinely do go. So in terms of the information, the data, if you check out my YouTube channel tomorrow, I will be live from 1:30 UK time. So I'll be on before that, but we'll have a bit of fun. Anyways, the S&P. So we're talking about the traditional markets mainly today. Obviously, Bitcoin and other things will obviously have an effect on certain markets in terms of conditions. Now, I talked about this on Learning Crypto this morning on one of the roundup videos. The previous recession, 59 kind of percent drop. That is where 59 or 58, whatever percentage would lead us to if we do go into a full-blown recession. Now, we have high inflation rates on this recession versus the last one. Interest rates obviously different, and obviously all the element with quantitative easing, quantitative tightening throughout the last few years. Bit of a difference, but we'll see where things go. A lot of people are expecting us to drop down to this 3200 level and bound to bottom. Personally, I think in between this kind of big level here, we're going to probably find ourselves at some point if, keyword if, there's a recession, and obviously the layoffs will obviously happen. We're already seeing the layoffs. It's a delayed market with layoffs. And obviously, less fundage equals that circle of recession where people don't have a job, they're not spending the money, stock prices will drop because of all kinds of stuff, and then it's just one big vicious cycle. It happens. So we need to be careful. Anyways, let's talk about Bitcoin, because I just put this out on Twitter not too long ago about the obvious. It looks a bit obvious if we're going to drop and retest these levels on the monthly time frame or even on the likes of the weekly time frame. Are we going to see that 12,000 level, or roughly around that 12,000 level? I still think there's a possibility, but I think a lot of people are expecting it, and it may not happen for a while if it does happen. My personal belief, again, my belief, we're going to probably go up before we go down. I feel there's a bit of a Santa rally. Now, one thing I will say, guys on Learning Crypto on the live not too long ago, we were talking about this. We were talking about all kinds of stuff on these commentary videos. By the way, it's free to get in if you want to jump in, free trial. We're talking about bear market rallies. And often we find between the 15th and the 18th of December, the last few bear markets, we've seen a bit of an uptick. We've seen it go up a little bit, even if it's only that 20% move. If we are going to go up, and let's just say we are going to start kick on from here, and we do like a 20-25% move on Bitcoin, we're still going in between this 20k kind of level. It wouldn't shock me in the slightest if we go and retest this at all. It wouldn't shock me in the slightest. So don't get caught out by a potential move, because the reality is, right, we've got a high, we've got a low, we've got a high, we've got a low. We're still in a freaking obvious downtrend, so we need to be very, very careful of what we do. This is why I'm saying up and then potentially next leg down. Scary thoughts, I know. Not everyone likes it, but it's as much as honest analysis I can give you. That is what we're going on. Not great, I know. Same with the total market cap. Looking at the situation here, I feel we are going to go and test this at some point. I just got a little feeling that the worst case scenario is if the shit really hits the fan, we might hit here. Maybe down here about the 700 mark probably again is probably a potential area of interest. But again, when we like zoom in on this a little bit, Are we going to find levels of interest around here where alts do go up and retest resistance levels and then reject and then potentially fall into a new leg level, into the 500 billion level? Now, I know a few people do disagree with me on this, but personally, I think a lot of the weight in the market is like illiquid and will probably get written off. Therefore, this will probably fall. We've got to look at supply and demand, token emissions, all kinds of stuff. How many coins are genuinely pegged at their valuations? I don't know if many are. We've already seen what's happened recently with FTX. So we've got to look at that as a big point. So be warned, be careful. Dollar cost average are key levels. If there is an opportunity to take some money off the table, if we do a Santa rally, do it. Nothing wrong with doing that. Take it a bit off the table, get a bit of profit, especially if you bought low. Like some assets that I've been buying recently have bounced quite nicely off those key levels. It just depends on how far it bounce, reality-wise. Anyways, I'll be live tomorrow. Hit the bell button, subscribe. If you want to watch more stuff, content here.